Hello everyone! Para po ito sa lahat ng mga nagbabalak mag-apply sa ating online na mga trabaho. So sa Cyberbacker, meron po tayong makikita na link kung saan pwede tayong mag-apply ng napakaraming pagpipilian. So nabasa ko na ang reply nito at nakuha ko na yung sagot nila sa aking email. Bago ko sabihin kung ano yung nagiging resulta ng ating pag-a-apply, samahan niyo muna ako ngayong gabi. Sobrang tagal kong naghintay dito. Yung pamamaraan nila ng pag-apply ay papasok ka sa isang room, marami kayo doon, parang i-orient muna kayo, tapos ililipat kayo sa breakout room. So at first, hindi ko namamalayan na ah, parang akala ko sa simula, pag malipat ka na sa isang room is yun na yun talaga. Pero talagang ang tagal kong naghintay. Hindi ko pa siya napapansin, pero at the end, ganun pala yun. From halimbawa, 62 kayo na tao. So, 62 ka na room. Depende kasi kung sino yung nauna. First come, first serve sila. So, malilipat ka na naman. Yung number ng room ay paliit ng paliit. So, from 62, naging 50, mga ganon, hanggang 42, hanggang sa ikaw na yung i-entertain nila, pinakababa. So, nahirapan ako dyan dahil yung ginagamit ko na headset ay hindi pala siya maganda at parang sira. So, trinay ko lang na mag-apply sa Cyberbacker at nakita ko lang. Pero alam ko na medyo stricto siya. So, company marriage. Marriage is not a contract to make sexual relationships acceptable. It is not merely a social institution to provide for the care of children. It is more than a psychological clinic where we gain the emotional support we need. It is more than a means for gaining social status or economic security. The ultimate purpose of marriage is not even achieved, and it is a vehicle for love and companionship as valuable as these are. The supreme purpose of marriage is the union of two individuals at the deepest possible level and in all areas, which in turn brings the greatest possible sense of fulfillment to the couple and at the same time serves best the purposes of God for their lives. What does it mean to be the one, to be one, to be one? What does it mean to be one? Obviously, simply getting married does not guarantee unity. There is a difference between being united and unity. As the old country preacher used to say, when you tie the tails of two cats together and hang them across the fence, you have united them. But then unity is a different matter. Perhaps the best biblical example that we have of this kind of unity is God Himself. It is interesting that the word used for one in Genesis 2:24, where God says, "For this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and they will become one flesh," is the same Hebrew word used of God Himself in Deuteronomy 6:4, where we read, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one." The word one speaks of composite unity, is opposite to obsolete unity. The scriptures reveal God to be the Father, Son, and Spirit, yet one. We do not have three gods, but one God, triune in nature. Illustrations of the Trinity are many, and all break down at some point, but let me use a very common one to illustrate some of the implications of this unity. Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. The triangle may be placed on any side, and the Father, Son, and the Spirit labels may be moved to any position. It makes no difference, for God is one. What we cannot do is erase one side or remove one title. It must all stand together. God is triune and God is one. We cannot fully understand the statement that we must speak of God in this manner because this is the manner in which He has revealed Himself. We would not know that God is triune unless God had revealed Himself as a triune. We would not know that the Trinity is a unity except that God has revealed it as as such. God is unity. On the other hand, God is diversity. We cannot rightly say that there are no distinctions among the Trinity. Strictly speaking, the Holy Spirit did not die for us upon the cross. That was the work of the Son. As believers, we are not indwelt by the Father but by the Spirit. The members of the Trinity do have varying roles, yet unity. It is unthinkable that members of the Trinity would ever operate as separate entities. From Genesis 1:26, where God said, "Let us make man in our image," to Revelation 22:16 to 21, we find the Trinity working together as a composite unity. What implications does this divine unity have for marriage? Here is a second triangle. God sa center, husband and wife. Dapat hapon, guys. Okay, this time the triangle may not be tilted to rest on another side. God must remain at the apex of a Christian marriage. We can, however, exchange the labels husband and wife, for they are to be one. In our individualistic age, unity is not a prized concept. Yet marital unity is not the kind of unity that eradicates personality. Rather, it is the kind of unity that frees. Pag ma-transfer ako ng room, kamak-kamak. Lipat-lipat na yun, guys. You are free to be all that God intends you to be while experiencing all that God intended when He united us in marriage. No truth could be more liberating and satisfying. Whether you are just beginning your new life as husband and wife or are marital veterans working your way through some challenges, I hope that you have clearly in mind the goal of marriage. Unity on the deepest possible level in all areas of life. Maybe that is only a dream for you, but if you are willing to work at it, it can become a reality. Can you imagine what it would be like to have a degree of intellectual oneness, social oneness, spiritual oneness, physical oneness? Do not give up. You may be on the brink of a new discovery. But my spouse is not interested in working with me. You say, I can do it all by myself. True, but you can do something by yourself. And that something just may be used of God to stimulate change in your mate. I believe that the principle discussed in the following chapter is the number one principle for marital happiness and good health. Read carefully, think clearly, and do not forget the assignment at the end of each chapter. Your turn. Take a good look at your marriage. Are you married? We must recognize weaknesses before we can initiate improvements. On a separate sheet, make 4 parallel columns with the following headings: intellectual, social, physical, and spiritual. Under each of these headings, list the characteristics you feel you hold in common with your mate. In which area is your oneness weakest? What could you do to stimulate growth in this area? What will you do? Suggest that your mate read the chapter, make a similar list, and answer the above questions. When you are both feeling good and open to growth, share your results and agree upon action that will increase your oneness. Concentrate on one area at a time. So na siya pa-answer, guys. Ano yung assignment? This is all about the marriage you've always wanted by Gary Chapman. So tomorrow, I will be reading the next chapter, chapter 2. So ato sa ning ansiran ang intellectual, social, physical, and spiritual. Get 1/2 sheet of paper. 1/2? 1 whole. Mag-answer ko. I have a lot of ball pens here.